Okay, I told you that it was going to get a little bit harder, right? That first part wasn't too bad. Here's where it gets a little bit more complicated. Okay, we're still going to be using that reciprocal, which just means the fraction kind of swaps. What's in the top is in the bottom, what's in the bottom is in the top. Here's where, again, that nuance comes in. Do you notice how on this one, the negative exponents are only in the top? The bottom one has a positive exponent, meaning I don't need to do anything with the denominator. It actually is going to stay where it is, and that's why this gets hard. So if these two move to the bottom, that would be 1 over a squared, b to the first, c to the second. Okay? You don't need to worry about anything for this one. That's actually kind of more as we go on this practicing together. So simplified is just going to be the same thing. So again, I only moved the exponents that had negatives. I only moved the exponents that had negatives. Okay? So here, this -2, while it is negative, there is no exponent that says it has a negative exponent. Therefore, it's going to stay where it is. So this -2 stays at the top. The x squared stays at the top. The y to the 8th is what needs to get moved. So I move it to make a positive y to the 8th. Again, the repeated multiplication is going to be more in the next few. Okay. Now for this one. This has got a lot going on, right? So this right here, that's where that negative is. So my 4x to the 8th stays on top. My -2 x to the 3rd, x squared, to the -3rd power, that goes on top. And now we're going to use that repeated addition. Okay? So there are 8 x's on top. On bottom, when I move that -3, it becomes a positive. When I move that -3 to the bottom, it became a positive. Meaning this -2x squared is written how many times? 3 times. So -2x squared, -2x squared, -2x squared. So how many -2x squareds do I have? 3. So I'm going to say -2 cubed. How many x's is this? 2. How many is this? 2. How many is this? 2. Now we'll cancel out like we did last week. This will cancel, 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 and that will cancel. So I have 4x squared on top. And what is -2 to the 3rd power? So what's -2 times -2, positive 4, times -2, -8. Okay, again, this is where the simplifying will come in. So we have 4 over -8. I can divide both of those by 2 and get 2 over -4, which I can divide again, and that gives me 1/2. half, and then we'll just add that x squared. So this is what I end up with. 1/2 over negative 2 x squared. And I know that was a lot. Okay, so let's do another one. I have a to the 6th, a to the 2nd, b to the 2nd. So I will start with my a to the 6th, a to the 2nd, because those are positive. This b to the negative 2nd will go down here and become a positive b squared. Now we'll look at the bottom. This needs to move up to the top, so I'll add it at the end here. And then I'll just keep my other two b's on the bottom. How many a's is this? Well, there's 6 at first. Then there are 2. Then there are 3. On bottom, there are 2. Then there are 3. Then there are 2. Is there anything that we can cancel out like we did on the other one? No. So we'll just write it. So a to the 11th over b to the 7th. A to the 11th over b to the 7th. Okay, so this one, again, this is kind of like that third one that we did. This whole thing is negative, so it's going to go to the bottom. So I will have 1 over 4x squared y to the 5th, and it's going to be to the positive 2. And it's going to be to the positive 2. Okay, so that's going to be 1 over 4x squared y to the 5th, written once. 4x squared y to the 5th, written that second time. Okay, and if you want to do that repeated addition, or that repeated multiplication, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to have 1 over 4 times 4, which is 16. X squared is 2 x's. X squared is another 2 x's with a total of 4 x's. Y to the 5th is 5 y's. Y to the 5th is another 5 y's, so I'll have y to the 10th. Okay, now again, this is where these extra things come in. So look at this last one. The negative is on the outside, but it's not just in the bottom, or it's not just in the top, or whatever you want to say. So we are taking this whole thing and moving it down here, and taking this whole thing and moving it up here. Again, this is because that negative on the outside. It's because that negative on the outside. So I'm going to have 3xy over 2x cubed y squared, and that's going to be all to the 3rd power. So all I did was do the reciprocal of that whole fraction because the outside number was negative. That outside number is negative, so I do it for the whole thing. Okay? Then, now I can do my whole thing is written 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So on top, I have 3xy, 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 and on bottom I have 3 x's and 2 y's. 3 x's and 2 y's. 3 x's and